Hello and welcome back to another episode of Showcase on Elden Ring. Now by today's request, it is going to be the Longsword, because why not I guess. Do the mundane stuff first, but then again, who else talks about it? So yes, the Longsword. Well, visually it's really derivative of the most plain basic longsword you can get. I guess you can say this is a mass-produced weapon in this world, because I can notice off the pommel on the back end, the peen that you would normally hammer over is barely done so. Done rapidly, if I might add. Or maybe it's designed that way so it can be easily removed in the future. That's a good question. But it's kind of a side effects. But anyway, this is a plain long sword. It has a hollow grind down the middle, or dip right down almost to the tip, where it becomes more solid at that point. In real life, long swords are a pretty very loose term for a very long or two-handed sword. That can go straight into claymore, or it cannot. This game trades it as basically a straight sword. So yeah, I think there's no really better way to explain this. It's plain Jane looking. Alright, enough of that. Let's go on to some descriptions and other such. Okay, the description reads, a straight sword with a double-edged blade. In addition to easily inflicted standard damage, this well-balanced weapon can also perform powerful piercing attacks. So yeah, alright. The stance of this weapon is called Square Off. Now, anyone who's played Dark Souls 3 will remember this special skill and what it does. But no matter. We'll get into that later. Now, I didn't get any footage of where you get this because, well, it's pretty easy. Either you start with it with the Vagabond class, or you can get it from the Twin Mana Husks at the Round Table. So yeah. Alright. Next, let's talk about some stats. Now, going off physically, you get an acceptable amount of damage starting off. It's not bad. It's not super, but it's not bad. And that's the idea of the Longsword. Going on to scaling, you got a D for strength and for dexterity. Alright. The skill Square Off here, you can see, is in two different attack modes. And they both of them just only cost 5 and 6 FP, which is nothing. So yeah. And you can see the attributes required to wield the weapon are abysmally small. Just 10 of both. That's nothing. But oh well. That said, it is pretty plain Jane vanilla, as what the weapon is intended to be like. It is, after all, a starting weapon for some classes. Alright. Let's go on some animations. Well, it is the longsword, so you can call it the base of all longsword animations. It should be the first. Well, luckily this time around is not a review yet, so I'm not grading animations. Okay, so the normal attack you saw, standard 5-hit swing. Power attack is a 2-hit combo, which can be charged as you're seeing. Nothing new or exciting there. Still helpful. Okay, next we'll do the crouching animation. So with a light attack is a nice fierce jab. I do enjoy using that one, especially when sneaking up on opponents. The power attack version does not exist. You simply go out of a crouch into using the normal power attack. It's always a missed opportunity in my opinion, never to add one. Alright, next we got the rolling attack, which is a roll and a straight up jab. Nice firm thrust and a good reach to it too. But as you see, the power attack variant does not exist, as usual. Alright, let's see what else. You got the back step, which is a quick step and a swipe. Nice and rapid, though not as much reach as one would want. Can you guess what the power attack version exists or not? That's right, it does not. Then you got the sprint attack, which is a standard horizontal swipe. It's alright. I use it plenty of times. And for now, for the power attack, we do have a power attack version. It's pretty much dragging your blade right into the ground, or no, swinging your blade, sorry, right into the ground upon your opponent. Alright. So I think that, oh, no, we still have jump animations. So, the jump attack, as you see, is a rather hefty swing when you jump. Awkward looking, but could be effective, and sometimes needed for flying opponents. The power attack version, very much the same as the sprint attack for the power attack. Just bring a blade right down onto your opponent, as if it was a club, and somehow impacts dirt everywhere. Alright, I think that's all the one-hit animations. moving on to two-handed. First off, we got the block animation. Simple, quick. Okay, and normal attacks. As you can see, it's a 2-hit combo, or actually it's a 5-hit combo. I keep forgetting that. But it's overhead and underhanded swings, followed by one heavy lunge. Alright, then you got the power attack, which is a 2-hit combo, which is just horizontal swiping with an uppercut, which can be also charged as you're seeing. Alright, moving on from that, let's go with the crouching attacks again. Alright, so the crouching basic attack, well, it's the same as the single-handed version, you're just using two hands this time. Makes more sense in that regard. And as usual, the power attack version does not exist. Alright, next. We're going to have some sprint attacks. As you can see, your sprint attack with a light is basically similar how your sprinting single-hand attack is. And you got the power attack variant here, which is now almost reversed. It's funny how that is. I guess I never truly noticed that till now. As you see, the light step back attack is uppercut, and the power version, as usual, does not exist. God, I won't get sick of saying that in this series. Okay, now on the rolling attack, as you see the light attack is a fierce stab. Bit of range on that one, a bit more than the one-hand attack version I do believe, but not much. Hitboxes, who knows. Okay, now for jumping attack, well, it still looks awkward, and in truth, you're not actually using two hands to use this attack. You use two-handed for the power one, but not for the single-handed one. But damage is probably the same, where I guess you expect it to be the same. Okay, next we got a stance. So when you hold your stance button, or your skill button, you'll of course assume the stance. Now while on your stance you're slow moving, and you can only use stance, you can't roll into it, or you can't roll into a stance, and you can't crouch into it either. It auto defaults to you standing. Now for the two maneuvers you have at your disposal, we have the uppercut. This is fairly useful, as I'll show later on if you're not familiar with it, and as you see you cannot go into another move. And the power attack, which is a rapid step and a thrust upwards. It's alright, not as useful as the first one in my opinion. But now I'll show you what it looks like with the HUD on. Now you see in the top left corner, this consumes incredibly little FP. Was it 6, I think the basic move was? And it was 8 for the other one? I think I said it wrong earlier, but no matter. Let's go on some horse animations. So, when you swing your weapon, well, you got nice wide swathing arcs, easily hitting opponents on your side. And same thing goes for the other one too. Almost identically the same arc is used. Alright, the power attack. The power attack is almost the same thing, just a more dramatic, and you can hold it too to charge and drag and swipe opponents on the side as well. Though that's a bit harder to use with such a small weapon. And you only get about a 2-second window, but no matter. You still hit plenty of things on the ground. So the beauty of a longsword is, it's a very flexible weapon. You can use it defensively, as I show here, or aggressively. Because it doesn't use all that much stamina. Or you can hide behind your shield and just do shield parries, or I guess, I'm not sure what they call this. It's the new maneuver. But no matter. It's a flexible weapon, and it suits almost every playstyle out there. But still, you have, well, I guess not a magical playstyle so much, because you will need physical strength, and some dexterity. But no matter. It's plenty powerful enough. Now, next question is, for reviews, which I'll get to in the near future, this weapon is also very buffable and very, I guess, infused? Is that still the right term? I'll get it down when we get the review started. Hopefully probably next 2 weeks. Okay, let's go on some stance breaking. So, to be honest, doing this is sort of pointless, but I'll show it anyway. You see the normal swing attacks is just 4 hits. Then we'll do the power attack, which is a strictly stabbing. You can sort of get through the shield with that, but on the 3rd attempt you will get through. Alright, let's do a two-handed version. With light attack for two-handed, well, it just usually reduces the net count by 1 as you see. Now it's 3 hits. Moving on to the two-handed power version, well, it only takes 2 hits this time. But these are all pointless. Because if you're not familiar with this weapon, observe. If you were to use a stance and the first ability, it's specifically designed to get through a shield. 1 hit. And even follows up easily for freaking front counter, riposte, whatever you want to call it. The other version, not so much. It won't go through a shield nearly as well. It's more designed to be offensive. And to be honest, I don't like it because that one stalling charge up. Now, that said, against a Great Shield, you won't be probably able to break it as easily, and you're best to try other methods. I know these dudes don't look like much, but if you're not familiar with them, they are significantly more powerful than the ones I've been fighting in the Windhelm Castle. But enough about that. Let's fight some giants. Alright, when hacking at a giant, which you will probably do near the beginning of the game with a long sword, you can actually stagger them. You can actually break their stance. It just takes a lot of hits. I lost count, but it did happen. It just took a lot of hits. But, is it the best way to do that? No. It takes a lot of stamina, and of course new players don't have that much stamina. It could make it happen with the two-handed version. And even with the power attacks, it still wasn't that easily done, so it's more of a DPS that caused the... these guys are trolls, not giants, keep calling them. But moving on to the stance, mainly the first one. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but it only took 2 swings to bring this troll to its knees. Which isn't that much. Even a low-level player can accomplish this. It's not my derivative strength that causes this, it's the weapon itself and its weapon art. Now, as you saw, I accidentally triggered the other giant, but as I demonstrated here, with a bit of dodging and intuition, you can easily defeat both giants. As I've already defeated the other one, mind you, that's my strength at play, but you saw I brought the other one down fairly easily. Pretty damn handy if I say so myself. So, the longsword. In Dark Souls 3, it was a bastion of hope for every new player that you could take it to the end of the game. I'm actually not confident this time around I could do that. But I have yet to upgrade it either, so that might be the case. We'll find out in the near future. But it's still a handy weapon. Of all starter weapons, I call it at least in the top 3. But is it the best weapon to start with? Well, that's up to you. But that's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.
In this world, you've got to be strong. You've got to